It is day number 79 of the self-quarantine today here in Los Angeles. And usually I would have started talking about the situation of the coronavirus pandemic here in Los Angeles, but that's not the main topic that everyone's talking about at this very moment. What's happening in Los Angeles and what's happening all over the United States are the protests, the civil unrest, because of the reaction, the anger of the killing of a black man by the hands of a police officer in Minnesota. And that reaction sparked this protest and civil unrest. And this is actually going to be the fifth day of protest here in Los Angeles, fifth day in a row. And I'm actually going to start where I left off yesterday, where I was talking about what happened in Fairfax, in the greater Los Angeles, where thousands of protesters were protesting peacefully. They were demonstrating, making their voices heard, and then the police officers arrived to make sure that it doesn't become what happened the night prior to that, where there was looting, there was arson. But the evidence that I've seen so far is that the police were very aggressive towards the protesters. The protesters reacted. But then the people that reacted, the protesters, and I want to be clear about this, and I've seen the evidence in social media, through the news, even though they're very biased in a lot of things, but I'm seeing that there is certain individuals or group of people who are trying to put themselves inside Black Lives Matter in this movement and trying to damage its appearance. Because those are the individuals who are vandalizing, who are stealing, who are looting, who are setting things on fire, who are damaging property, who are destroying local businesses. It's not the Black Lives Matter. I've seen video evidence where I've seen individuals of the Black Lives Matter individuals actually protecting businesses. And they said it themselves, it's not about the business, it's about the message. And those people are not there for the message. They're there because this is a chaotic opportunity. They're hijacking this movement in making this movement lose their way, and for the whole world to see that the Black Lives Matter is not a right movement, but a wrong one, that ensues anarchy, destruction, lawlessness, criminal activity, but that's not right. That's not what they're all about. They're about spreading the word in a peaceful way. But those individuals, those anarchists, those people who are using this type of catalyst to ensue their evil intentions, that's what they're all about. And unfortunately, a lot of people still don't see that. So after that, after the night of civil unrest, in the middle of the night, the National Guard actually arrived here in Los Angeles, about 500 to 700 people. And what was interesting was that immediately when the sun came up, you saw the destruction, but you also saw something that was beautiful as well. You saw people helping the businesses that were affected, the local businesses, the small businesses that were looted, that were destroyed, that were damaged, and they were cleaning up, and they were even setting up GoFundMe page and even donating their money for those businesses as well. And something I also wanted to share too, that even yesterday, a lot of the local news, and I want to say this, even the visuals that I used on my last video, it only showed just the destruction, the violence, the unrest, the anger, the vandalism, the fires, but they were not showing the full story. And I blame a lot of this on the media. The media of my local TV stations, the cable media, none of them talked about the beautiful moments that happened during the protest, where we actually saw some actual change, when we saw revelations, where we saw togetherness, where we saw brotherhood. For example, I saw on social media a police officer took off his gear and with other police officers and marched with the Black Lives Matter protesters and raising his hand with solidarity. And we saw other people helping other people. We saw a officer where he was separated from his group and he was about to be attacked by these protesters, right? They call themselves that, but they're the ones instigating all this violence. But then the real Black Lives Matter people, they actually built a human wall to protect him because they knew what this message was about. Just these are some of these stories that I saw where we saw these beautiful actions. And then I even saw this morning where a person from my area, from South Central LA, going to Minneapolis and actually help paint over all the nasty graffiti that was on the walls of supermarkets because he wanted to see, he was tired of the violence, of the negativity of the tagging, and he wanted to make a change and to create a dialogue. So that was some of the things I saw. And then today, more of the same, but now it was in Santa Monica where the things moved far, almost to the ocean, of the civil unrest of the protests. So now there's another day of curfew. Now it's not just at 8 p.m. Now it's at 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. And the only people that are allowed to go outside after curfew is the essential workers. So the National Guard, the police, it's on full force right now in Los Angeles. And I just wanted to let you know what is the update so far. And also I will show on the bottom what are the number of cases and deaths regarding COVID-19 as well, because I cannot forget the serious issue of COVID-19, of this deadly disease that is rampaging all over Los Angeles as well. So for now, that's what's going on here in LA. So that is it for today's video. Everyone, stay strong, stay safe.